Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Apologies for the late start on this pre-port. We've got a lot that we're planning for the show, which will be coming up in just 22 minutes. I'm going to be joined by Brett Ehrlich, and it should be a lot of fun. But before that, I want to run through a few fun stories, and we will indeed get to Marjorie Greene, who, she's not going to sit out Donald Trump being indicted once again. This is an opportunity right here for her. But anyway, let's see, where should we start? I think I'm going to start with this. So this is something that I saw on Twitter thanks to Kat Abu-Ghazaleh, who's been on the show a couple of times. So I don't know how she came across this. I guess it was another tweet or something. But back in 2004, Steven Seagal put out an album called Songs from the Crystal Cave, which sounds like one of my short stories. But anyway, whatever you think this song will be like, however bad you might think it is, I don't think you're prepared for this. Wait. Okay, I apologize if you couldn't hear that particularly well. I just realized we've switched over to the new computer and the speakers on this are not good. So I'm going to have to upgrade that for these future videos. But what you need to know about that, if you can't tell, the second one is a dancehall song. It's titled Strut. He is the guy singing shortly into it. He is using some sort of Jamaican accent, which I checked is not the accent he has. But that's not what's important. What's important is the lyric that he says. It is the first thing that Steven Seagal says in the song, which is, "Mi wanda punani." Like that. Not "I want the punani." Mi wanda punani. How has this existed on the internet for 19 years and we're only now finding out about this? Come on, internet researchers. You gotta surface this stuff. Anyway, yeah, he has lived a wild life. What a bizarre individual. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly run through just a couple of stories I find interesting. We don't have time to really jump into them, but Megyn Kelly was angry at Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan apparently doesn't get the Bud Light controversy. Most of us wouldn't be caught dead drinking it, she says. Okay, so look, there's a lot that Joe Rogan does not understand, and he gets criticized for it, including by me, and he should. I'm not sure that this is a failure on his part to understand. I think he understands. I think I understand the issue that you have. You guys have tried to win some sort of like Waterloo in the culture wars by saying that for the rest of your life, you will not drink this beer product, Bud Light, from this company, who you will drink all of their other beers because you don't understand or don't care that they make many of them. For the rest of your life, this is a beer that you've liked for years or decades. You'll never drink it again. And if that means that this great company needs to go down and thousands of people need to lose their jobs, that is what is required, because a PR team on Bud Light sent a promotional six-pack of beer to a trans person, and that's it. That's the whole thing, actually. Like, I try to remind everyone, just in case you haven't been following this, Dylan Mulvaney has not murdered anyone. Dylan Mulvaney has not raped anyone. Dylan Mulvaney did not run some sort of insane crypto pump and dump that lost her followers millions of dollars. Dylan Mulvaney simply exists as a trans person, and that is the entire issue they have with some person at Bud Light, they don't even know who decided, hey, you know how like we do all these like crossovers with influencers and nobody even knows about it? Let's do it with Dylan Mulvaney. And that's it. That's the entire thing, and they think Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch should be destroyed because of that. And look, if that's too complex for right-wingers to understand, Bud Light's politics are incorrect, so they need to be canceled. To put it in terms that you would understand. And she is supposed to be, she's angry at Joe Rogan for not getting that. And she says about Anheuser-Busch, I'm enjoying watching them suffer. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, why would you lie about that? Or I should say, I have no idea if you're telling the truth or not. Why wouldn't you say that? She's pitching herself as being brave or bold or uncensored. You're saying the thing that you have a direct financial incentive to say and massive financial disincentives not to say. The brave, bold thing would be to be like, hey guys, so I know we were mad about the Dylan Mulvaney thing because we utterly despise trans people. We don't think that they should exist. But if they are going to inconvenience us by existing, we should never acknowledge it at the very least. But like at some point we got to go back, about our life. That would be it for her. That would be career over. That's what makes it brave or bold. Saying the thing that the mob is demanding you say is neither brave nor bold. Anyway, what can we fit in? What can we fit in? Don't think that's gonna fit. Don't think that's gonna fit. Okay, let's move to this really fast. There is a ballot proposal. We'll see if California ends up actually putting it through, ends up finishing it, or passing it. But it would force California lawmakers to reveal lobbyist ties. And when they say that, they mean going pretty in depth in terms of disclosing the meetings that you have, the financial connections that you have. This sounds really interesting. I have a feeling that there is going to be a lot of opposition to this by both Republicans and a lot of California elected Democrats. The issue for them is that it's a ballot proposal. Now, that does not mean that there's nothing that they can do to stop it from actually being put on the November election or whatever, but I don't know. It'll be fascinating. People want more out of California Democrats. They don't feel like they're getting what they deserve, considering how progressive the state is. So it'll be interesting to see. Also, everybody, we're cruising into the weekend. I'm going to need you to be careful out there, particularly if you're in a river, because the otters are out there and they're killing everyone. A rare otter attack has injured 3 women floating on inner tubes on a popular Montana river. So, just to be clear, you are not safe on any body of water when it comes to these otters. You go on the river, you're doomed. They're going to get you. You go in the ocean, they're going to steal your surfboard. They are all over the place, and they're not fucking around anymore, these otters. Anyway, nobody died or anything, but they can be pretty big. They can be 20, 30, 40 pounds. You better be careful out there. Okay, really fast. I'm just going to mention this because we will be talking about Ron DeSantis in a fun news segment that will be rolling out on the show today. But I'm going to try to play this video. We're going to see if it's going to be literally audible at all.
If they're trying to break into our country, if they're trying to smuggle in product that's going to kill Americans, that's going to be the last thing they ever do, because those cartel members are going to end up stone cold dead. We are going to hold them accountable.
Okay, so obviously Ron DeSantis can't be a tough guy in the way that he would like to be. He can't be a tough guy when it comes to Trump. He can't be a tough guy in much of anything. So what do? You make these like vague, unenforceable promises about how you're going to murder people that we all agree are bad or whatever. So if a cartel member like brings in fentanyl, I guess we're going to murder them. I mean, we're not, but the idea is that we would. We don't like the cartel members, so yeah! Fucking kill them! My God. It is so easy to be a Republican politician. I mean, I guess right now it's not as easy as it could be because he's still doomed. He can get a couple of people to politely clap for his bloodlust or whatever, but this is what passes for like a conversation about policy for them. I'd kill all sorts of people you want me to kill. Okay. Why don't you be tough with Trump? He's the guy kicking your ass. The cartel members are not stopping you from winning this thing. That's Donald Trump. Why do you keep forgetting that? Okay, let's see. We're going to jump into our main story, see if we can hear just a little bit of this. I'm not going to play. It's like a 5-minute video. I'm just going to play a little bit so you get the idea, and then I'll let you know what's going on here.
President Trump is being indicted in Washington, D.C. in a court with a jury of his so-called peers. Those are not his peers. Everybody knows this. Everyone knows shot of a fair trial in the Washington, D.C. court.
Why do they hate him so much there?
No Republican has a shot at a fair trial.
Okay, so she decided to weigh in on Donald Trump, and she had to do it while working out because there was no other opportunity. That's the only time she could not have finished her workout, gone to her office and then put up the video. She couldn't have done it on the podcast that she puts out multiple times per week. This is the only time. So if any of you are complaining about it or pointing out that it seems weird or try hard or desperate, like exactly what appeal is this supposed to have to right-wingers, then you guys are wrong, because this is the only time that she could have done it, and it's totally normal. And if AOC did something like that, she wouldn't have a problem with it at all, just to be clear. Anyway, we're going to have better speakers soon. It's a new Mac Mini. They don't have good built-in speakers, and we're totally setting up this thing. Anyway, what she said right there is not the important point, although I love, he won't have a chance with a jury of his peers or whatever in D.C. because they don't like him. Well, first of all, why do they hate him so much? Second of all, you get that he did the crimes there. If you are going to try to imply that you have a principle, I would love to normalize actually saying what the fuck it is. Say what you mean. What you mean is you should be able to choose whatever dark corner of the country you want to have your trial in based on where you think you should have the best chance of not being held accountable for the crimes you committed. That is the actual principle that she is putting forward, but of course she doesn't have the balls to actually say it. So instead it's just like, oh, Washington, they're really mean. Not fair that he should have to be there despite the fact that that's where it was filed because that's where the crimes were committed. Hey, look, if you want him to have a trial in other areas, don't worry. He's having trials every fucking where. He's going to have a trial in New York. He's going to have a trial down near Mar-a-Lago. He's going to have a trial in Fulton County. You can try your luck at all these different places because the dude committed crimes everywhere. This one, though, it's a DC thing, so deal with it. Anyway, perhaps more importantly, she goes on to say, we are post-Constitution because of this indictment. Again, none of them seem willing to acknowledge that he is being indicted for this and will have a trial in which he can put forward evidence, he will be represented. We can even have the whole thing be public. We can have the whole thing be televised. They didn't just lock him up. They didn't just execute him. This is the next step in a legal process. A legal process, by the way, that they are frothing at the mouth to begin against Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. So, Congresswoman Greene, since I know you're watching, assuming you're not still working out, would we be post-Constitution if we were to indict Joe Biden? By the way, while we're on that topic, you probably are well aware at this point of what their defense is for Donald Trump. It's not a defense because it doesn't have anything to do with the actual charges, but it's what they're saying. What they're saying is he's got freedom of speech. He's got a First Amendment. He can say whatever he wants, which again, I don't doubt, and thank God that's not what he's being indicted for. But if it was, he's got free speech. How are you going to get mad at him for his speech? Even if it seems like it's leading to a crime, he gets to say what he wants. Well, then shut the fuck up about Hunter Biden's phone calls. Shut the fuck up about whether Joe Biden said hi to some jackass for 10 seconds. Doesn't he have freedom of speech? Doesn't he have the First Amendment? Why are you trying to silence him? Why are you trying to censor him? I thought we had a country. So which is it? Are you allowed to say whatever you want, even if it's explicit that you're pushing for a crime to be committed, even if it's in the furtherance of a criminal conspiracy, or is the First Amendment absolute? And it doesn't matter what you say, it shouldn't even be discussed. Ridiculous. She also, by the way, and this I guess I gotta mention because it's in the headline, said, with this indictment, it feels like communism. Look, I understand that learning is difficult, and once we get out of college, most people feel like they shouldn't have to do it anymore. But bear in mind, Congresswoman, nobody is obligating you to attempt to use terms that you don't understand. Communism is an economic system. It has nothing to do with whether Donald Trump is indicted for trying to overthrow the election. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to make a point against communist regimes in the past, you could say that very often explicitly anti-democratic, and almost inevitably in many of these cases, it seems like strong men have risen up under the guise of communism, but often ruling in a fashion that has nothing to do with it. And no matter what happens, they never get out of office again until they literally perish. It kind of seems like you wanted Donald Trump to be able to do that. It kind of seems like you wanted him to live the communist dream when it comes to the political stuff. Obviously, this has nothing to do with economics. I feel like you could read the Wikipedia page, and that wouldn't take that long. Maybe take a couple of minutes off of the workout, Google communism. You could learn something. Ask ChatGPT, it can summarize it for you. You can honestly say, give me a second grade education version of what communism is. They could catch you up real fast. Anyway, we unfortunately don't have any more time. I got a show starting in just 7 minutes. So thank you for joining us for the pre-port. We got the show coming up soon, including our Garbage People of the Week.